Hello, everybody. You're joining Kathy Campbell, and obviously, the name of my YouTube channel is Soul Talk Jam with Kathy. So, I'm not going to make a really long video today, but I did want to get some things out to the public because I actually have been having several dreams and visions. Most of them are visions, what I call visuals, and they usually come in a series. And that's been going on with me for several years now. I actually have more visuals and visions than I do dreams. Dreams used to be more in the past with me. But it seems like in the last several years, it's been more like visuals, a series of visuals. So today I'm going to share with you one of the series of visuals that I've been getting about the suppression of humanity. There's so much going on right now. I mean, so much that people are in great confusion. I'm going to try to adjust this light so I'm not reflecting it so much off of my glasses, but I need the light, so let's do it. All right, be patient with me. Give me a second. Okay, we're gonna have to go with that. Sorry about the reflection in my glasses. But I have to have them on so I can navigate through the pictures I'm going to share with you. So anyway, let's get back to the point. Thanks for being patient with me, everybody. I'm not really that great with technology, but I'm getting a little bit better as I'm doing more videos. So before I go any further, I'm going to ask you to like the video and share it if it is something that you think others would be interested in. I'm not consistent enough yet with YouTube to really build an algorithm, and there's not really many people that are watching my videos yet, but we'll see what happens with that. It is my intention, and I'm going to try to do it the lazy way because I'm an older woman and I'm not going to stress myself out over it. And there's actually a lot of potential stress in building a YouTube video that you can have some income from. So we'll see how lazy I'm going to be or how much I'm going to push through. I don't push through very much anymore. It does not work well for me. And I refuse to have a relationship with stress and anxiety trying to make things happen. So, anyway, that was a sidebar. Let's get on with things. So, humanity for eons and eons and eons of time, millions of years. And it is true that humans have been around for multiple millions of years since our first incarnation. Well, since we were placed on the earth, since we came to earth for the first time. There's a whole lot to this story, and I really do want to share it, but it's too much to share in one video, and it's really not the major point for the video today. The major point is to give you some visuals that I've created with AI to help all of us understand the story better according to the visuals that I've been getting in a series of visuals about the suppression of humanity. So I'm a very visual person and I just seem to understand things a lot better and I get it. It's like my mind gets it with visuals. And I think the majority of people are probably like that. And so that's why I've created these visuals by AI to help me better understand and then to share with friends and my sister groups and even here on my YouTube channels. So let's go ahead and start with the pictures. And I'm going to take you through them quite quickly. And then I think what I'll do is go back and start making more comments about the information that I got in connection with these visuals as a series that I was getting. It was like sometimes one day, the next day, the next day. Sometimes it can be one day, skip 2 or 3 days, and then it comes back with the next in the series sequentially. Sometimes it's not always sequential either, but this one is. So let me go ahead and bring up the share here. and bring you to what I want to share with you. So here it is. And let me just go clear back to the beginning here, okay? So, okay. Good job, Kathy. This is what I saw very clearly, almost like a carousel, but there were no horses on it to make it a merry-go-round. So this is humanity, and this is the position that we have been in for eons and eons of time. And we're going to talk in a minute about who or what has been suppressing us. But let's go ahead and travel through the pictures in sequential order first. So this is a really great picture and I love it, but actually in the visual that I had, this topper that looked like a carousel topper was much closer to those of us who are all hunched down in the, you know, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. But instead of evil, we've been don't talk, don't see, don't hear, don't understand. We're keeping you suppressed, keeping you from your power, the natural source, God, soul power that we have inherently, and that is our sovereign right. We have been suppressed from our innate power for millions of years, over and over. And sometimes there have been some times where we had more sight and then we got suppressed again. We experienced our power more, then we got suppressed again. It's a very sad story and it could be a little depressing, but listen, there is hope. I promise you there is hope. And things are moving so quickly, y'all, that it's not going to take long for what's happening to be completed so that we can move on and start a new way of living, reconnected to the source soul power that we have a right to. It's innate within us. Every human being that ever has been, is, and ever will be. So this is the first picture. This is the suppression. And you're going to see here that there are like almost like laser lights that are connected into the back of every person. And that is what I'm going to call, and it came to me as AI, dark AI control, that is being powered and controlled by dark beings that have been suppressing humanity and warring with humanity for eons of time. And again, I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail about that in this video, but we'll touch upon it. And so the next one is just a little, oops, that went way too far. You can see the end of it there. So the next picture is more accurate as far as how low I saw this. It looked like glass to me, but it wasn't glass. But I was thinking when I was getting the vision, but that, wow, that there should be a way to shatter that glass. And as the vision kept going along, several days or weeks later, I started getting downloads for my second basic upgrade session. I have one basic upgrade. I have several upgrades that I offer people, but I call the first one your basic upgrade, number one. And because of this vision, I received the download for basic upgrade number two, which is what I'm calling breaking the spell. Because this glass right here, it was actually rounded, but that's okay. I didn't want to keep messing with AI to make it round. This is good enough. But you can see how low. We have been so low as we really could go without totally being extinct. And so you can obviously see it was actually even lower than this, but this is a good depiction. You can see that nobody can even stand up without hitting their head on the top of the glass, right? So we've not been able to stand up in our power, is what that is representing. We have not been able to stand up in the power of love or in the power of support. We have, over time, become more and more separated and more against one another instead of supporting each other like we were born to do and like we were created to do. So that is visual number two. And it's interesting to me that AI created this light up here as if each one is connected. Remember, this is an AI device that is actually suctioning and harvesting our energy and our power and keeping us in numbness, zombie-like condition, and not even remembering the soul. And so it's been a sad, sad condition that we've been in for a long time. And here we are now, finally, in the final stages of it. I can promise you things are going to get better. I've known this for decades. I've been waiting for this time. Not that I enjoy or revel in any way whatsoever about the what humanity is going through and the heartaches and the financial situations getting worse and healthcare being taken away from many who needed it and all of the threats. And I'm just going to say before I move on, listen, one of the reasons all these threats are coming to is because these dark beings and energies that I'm talking about that have been harvesting our energy through the dark AI, they feed off of this. And this is coming out more and more and more now into the public arena. And I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful because, those of us who have known these things for years and years of time when we were younger, we couldn't speak about those things then because we would have been called wacko and woo woo foo foo. And I am woo woo foo foo, what used to be called woo woo foo foo. And I'm not ashamed of it anymore. I'm going to say, you want to have some foo? You want to have some woo? Come see me. Yeah, that's what I'll say because it's not woo woo foo foo anymore. It's what's been happening, people. It's really what's been happening. So let's move on and I'll come back to some of what I'm saying. And so as you can see, the next picture is in the vision when this one came, I heard a voice say to the people, to us collectively, turn on your sides and grab each other's feet. Now, the visual didn't come out exactly like that, but basically what the point is was in this picture, we were already touching each other, but yet we weren't really aware of each other because we've been so blinded, because our sight was taken away. We didn't even notice each other. And even though we're touching each other there, we're not touching each other in unity at all. But in this picture, when we turn to our sides and we grab onto each other, something begins to happen. Look here, what's beginning to happen. Let's go here first. The light of the soul, the source-filled soul, begins to awaken in some people. And as it awakens in one or two or three or 400 or 500 or 1,000 or 10,000, it begins to ripple through everybody because, and here's an important part of the foundation of everything that I'm going to show you about my visuals and my dreams. We are one collective human soul before we become individuated souls expressing source individually. So we are, in the greater reality, one collective human soul. And so, that takes us back to the origin of oneness. Some may call that the law of one. So we are returning to oneness, and it's almost like magic, what we would call magic. It's not really magic, it's power, innate power, but it seems like magic to us that when one begins to awaken, it starts to spread and then becomes exponential. And then here we are now at this time where it seems like bam, all of a sudden people are waking up. Well, that's been a process that's been going on, but thank goodness it's happening very quickly now. Quickly, quickly, quickly. I mean, I was told several years ago to start changing the way I was teaching things, start changing the way that I was doing healing sessions, changing the way that I was teaching Reiki, and that the healing systems have to evolve along with the evolution of humanity. And so it has been a gradual awakening and slower in the past, as we get the messages through the clairaudience or the clairsentience or the clairvoyance, the soul, the insight. And I was told all those years ago to get people prepared. And that's why I was asked to change the way or evolve the way that I was teaching and doing sessions, because I was told that at that time, it was 5 to 7 years, and it's been about 7 years since I leveled up and made those changes. But that in 5 to 7 years, there was going to be a mass awakening, and people were going to start searching out and seeking energy healers, and that we would become quite or much more mainstream than what we have been in the past. So this is what happens right here. You can see that, look, the lines that used to connect into us from this AI have begun to break up and disconnect. And it's destroying this dark AI unit and not suctioning us. It's getting scattered. You see the scattered lines? What's happening here? We're getting scattered as we unit that is getting scattered. That is disconnecting as we unify, because when we unify, the collective human soul, the power, the God-given source-filled, saturated soul of the collective soul begins to wake up, and we can do anything that God can do. We're just a smaller, it's almost like we're a teaspoon, we're a teaspoon of God. So we have the same power, but maybe not in the same quantity. I'm not exactly sure how all of that works, but I know it's all holographic and a hologram. No matter how many times that it breaks up and individualizes, each part of the hologram has the whole in each part of the hologram, and that's how we are. Does that make sense to you? All right, so here is the beginning of the unification, and this is really kind of where we are right now. And I'm recording this on April, I think, 19th or 20th, in 2026. So this is about where we're at right now. People are starting to wake up. And then, bam, look what happened. The spell broke. Once we unified, we were able to rise up in our power, our God-given innate power and our sovereignty, because we unified and because we stopped feeding the darkness with hate and division. Look, those are dark energies and the dark beings that have been running our world through humans, the same families of humans for eons of time, do not have a chance once we stand up in unity and we remember who that we really are. So those beings that have inhabited these people that have been controlling the earth and humanity, they feed their food, their energy food is anything that's dark or negative. And so that's one of the other reasons that I'm going to start doing some more frequent YouTube videos, is just to help people to remember that hating Donald Trump or hating the administration, hating is only feeding them and making them stronger. And so what do we do instead of hating them? Well, I'm going to give you a really simple solution, and it's so simple it sounds like it wouldn't work. But first start out with breathing. Take some deep breaths, calm, deep breaths to reoxygenate your brain. And instead of hating and letting those words that feed these people, because of the beings that do inhabit them, we don't want to do that. We don't want to make it stronger. And so as soon as we really get that, this right here, this picture is our next step and is coming very quickly. Because I'm hearing all over from podcasters, and not just spiritual podcasts, but even news podcasts, where people are using these words now that some of us have been using for years. And it's like now the collective is getting it, which is proof positive to me that the collective human soul is reuniting, reunifying, reintegrating, and starting to rise up in the power of source that we all are. And so this is where we're coming into very quickly. In fact, I'm going to say in the next few weeks, probably, this right here is where we're going to be at. So the spell is being shattered. The spell of suppression, the spell of forgetfulness. We have been in long, long eras of forgetfulness. And I even wrote a book about it called Leaving the Age of Forgetfulness and Remembering the Soul. I'm not set up yet. I have not published the book. I'm right now just sending it via email as an ebook, a PDF ebook. And it is available for a donation of $20, but I'm not set up yet on my description. But I will get that done soon so that I can start offering that book on my YouTube channel. But here we are, leaving the age of forgetfulness. The spell of forgetfulness is shattered. And look at all these pieces coming off. Look at all these pieces coming off. Woohoo! That's what I'm gonna say. Kids, I've been waiting for this time all my life. This is what I came here for, was to support humanity through all of this. And excuse me if I get teary-eyed and start to cry because I'm so thankful that I'm still alive. I was really beginning to wonder. I started getting very discouraged some years ago, thinking I'm not going to live long enough to see it happen. Everything that I've been working for behind the scenes that people never knew about. And there have been many of us doing that, I have no doubt. Many years that many of us have been working with light and love behind the scenes, those of us who have been awake for quite a while. So here I am, still alive, and I'm getting to be part of it and supporting humanity in ways that I have been preparing for years and years and years through classes and through going deep, deep, deep into my being for over a decade, going down dark holes, dark rabbit holes, and other tunnels, and it was well worth it. So here we are, coming to this point. And then look at that. It's like we really wake up. We really wake up. It's coming. It's coming. We wake up and we become free. Become liberated. And this is not a temporary liberation, kids. This is a change. It is the biggest change and boost for humanity in millions of years of the suppression and the warring against us that's been taking place. This is not temporary. This is lasting. This is eternal. We're coming back here to eternal, to codes of eternal life, infinite. Many of us have been cut off from infinite life and the codes of eternal life through these eras and eras of suppression. But in this video, it certainly looks to me, and according to the visuals and the visions that I had, that these pictures are based upon, this is people waking up and coming back into our sovereign source power and reestablishing and reconnecting the direct connect to source. Right here, right here, right here, right below the throat. That's the point of direct connect with source. So here we are waking up. And I love the guy that's got his fist up there because I'm always like, power to the people. I'm watching TV, I'm watching the news, and I'm like, power to the people. Rise up in your soul power. Rise up. You know? Yes, I'm a little old hippie, is what I am. So, all right, here we are becoming free. And it's like, oh my God. And here we're out and the AI device is crumbling. Those beings that have been inhabiting humans for eons and eons of time, those same families controlling the world, controlling humanity, controlling our beliefs, controlling our religions, controlling our religious texts. We're looking at it. Look, everybody has their hands, they're holding hands. We're unified. And our light, the soul light, the source light is back on. And that damn thing is crumbling. And what's crumbling along with it is those beings of darkness will no longer be able to harvest our energy to keep them alive. They will not any longer be able to siphon us because their device is breaking. And so they will go back to dust and back to source at some point because even the dark beings, I know people don't like to think this way, but I believe this is true. Anything that is alive, anything that has an atom, basically, is of source. It depends on what we do with that energy that makes it either light or dark or in between or nothing. So these beings made a decision to disconnect from source or God, whatever you want to call it, long ago. And so they have to harvest off of living things. They have to harvest off of animals, people, bugs, air life, fish, water life. And that's what's been happening for millions of years, with some breaks, some reprieve in between, but for not for very long. And then we go right back under suppression. So it has been an arduous journey for the human soul. It has been a sad, arduous journey for the human soul. But here we are. We're waking up. We're waking up. And so then the next picture is similar, but look, they're walking away from it now. And they have smiles on their faces. And as hard as things are right now, people, this is what you have to look forward to. This is the hope. Please don't give up hope. Please don't give up hope. I know it's hard, really hard for some of you right now, but don't give up hope. Sometimes that's all we have left. But hope is light. Hope is a higher dimension. It is in the dimension of love. Okay, and I know it's hard for a lot of people to hope because hopes have been dashed so often. And I'm going to raise my hand and say, I've been there, done that. I still go through those times where I'm like, screw it. I don't even know what I'm here for. What the hell am I doing? Why am I giving my energy to this when I see no results? So I've been there with you. But we don't give up. We don't give up because we are the power of God living within humanity, expressing through humanity, perceiving through humanity. And so then the last picture is, woo, look at the sky. The sun's coming out. It's brightening. And that device and those beings who have been using it against us to siphon our energy and siphon our power for them to continue to live and war against us and suppress us, it's all going down. It's all going down. It's all going down. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you, don't give up. So now I want to just, before I close out this video, I'm going to go back through the pictures one more time and just let you look at them. And I'm going to ask now, sort of as a prayer, that as you look at these videos, that your soul gets it, that hope arises, that the light, the love, and the power that is innate, that is who we are, begins to flip on again, flip on, just like a light switch. Don't give up hope. Use breathing. I've given you, maybe it was a little complicated. I can make it easier, but I did have a video where I did a demonstration of soul breathing and source breathing to re-strengthen you and to build the hope and not give up. And one of the most important things right now is do not hate, do not hate, do not hate. Breathe instead. Close your eyes and touch your source point, or close your eyes and touch your soul point in your belly area and just breathe into it and breathe into it. Close your eyes to cut off the visual stimulation. Turn off the TV for a while. Stop doom scrolling for a while. Don't hate and don't speak words of hate. It feeds them and it will elongate this process. Try to stay as positive as you can. Try to laugh, watch a funny movie, do silly things. It's so simple to revive ourselves to a lighter and brighter feel and sense and energies and vibrations. So let's go back clear to the beginning again. And I'm just going to ask you to place your hands, one hand on your upper chest and one hand on your belly button as we go through these again, and give permission for yourself to rise up in hope and to rise up in your power as we look at what we're coming out of. We are coming out of this suppression. We are coming out of the dark age of forgetfulness, and we are remembering the soul. And it has been an arduous journey for the human soul, but we are awakening and everything is going to be changing. And I know you've heard it. I know you heard it, and I know you've heard it. I have too. I've heard it all my life in the form of Pentecostal Christianity. You know, they have their own version of these things, and I don't believe that way anymore, but or practice that way anymore. But there's some things that are very similar, and that is that there are dark beings. And I tried to stay away from it for a while. I really did for several years, but I have to get back to the raw truth here. So here is where we've been suppressed. Our energies have been harvested and siphoned against our will. And, you know, I've asked many times over the years, how can that happen if we are in a free will universe? So I still have questions about that. I'm not so sure that that is actually the truth, that we live in a free will universe. There's an awful lot of warring in these lower dimensions. We are in the lowest dimensions of our part of the universe. We're in dimensions one, two, and three. And that's where we've stayed. We've gotten stuck. And our minds have been twisted. We have been terribly distorted. We've believed inverted versions of realities because that's what we've been fed. And that's part of what these lines are too. Not only have they been harvesting us and harvesting our energy and our power, but they have also been injecting into us false narratives, especially when it comes to religious and spiritual narratives. And I'm sorry to say this, it will probably upset some people, but even New Age. And I went that way for a while. You know, I've experienced the New Age stuff, and I'm not saying it's bad, and I'm not judging it, okay? So try not to get too hopped up about this. I'm not judging it and saying it's bad. It's been distorted to keep us locked down, even though all of it sounds, you know, like light and love. That's how they've deceived us, and that's how they have kept us suppressed, was giving us the narratives that they wanted us to believe, so that they can just continue to harvest us, control our minds without us even realizing it. We're waking up, okay? So just look at the picture. Just look at the picture. Let your mind and your soul, your redeemed mind, your restored mind, and your insight from soul, look at the condition that we have been in. Not even able to stand up in our power. Forgetting, even for a lot of people, that we even have a soul, or that there's anything more to us than just our physical three-dimensional beings. This is the condition that we've been in. Let it speak to you. Just let it speak to you. And here we are, unifying, touching each other, speaking to each other, honoring each other, because we truly are brothers and sisters of the universe. We are brothers and sisters of our species, no matter our color, no matter our beliefs, no matter what job we have, where we live, where we came from, no matter our backgrounds. We are all part of the collective, one collective human soul. And when we begin to remember that, you see what happens. We begin to spread that, and the hold and suppression that has been upon us begins to break apart. Look, it's breaking apart. Remember, the AI feed lines are disconnecting and fragmenting and dissolving. Wake up, wake up, wake up, and rise up. Rise up in your power, people. You know, when I was doing the No King's Day protest a few weeks ago, it felt so good to um, to be doing that, because what I was doing, and a few other people around me, was not necessarily no kings as a lot of them do, but but spreading the light. It was great to, at the top of my voice, say, as cars went by, "Wake up, America! Wake up, world! Wake up your soul! Open your eyes! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!" Because we are spreading light when we do that. Right here is what we're doing. When we do that, instead of hating, this is what happens. We begin to rise up and we help each other rise. We help each other rise. Excuse me. And then this is what's coming not too far down the road. I'm going to say probably a good while, a good ways away from the end of the year. I'm looking at this as happening, and don't hold me to it, because, you know, time is elusive, because it it moves and works according to people's choices. Okay, so, but what I'm sensing very deep from my soul is that we're not far from this right here, to where it's all shattered. It's all shattered. We are disconnected from that control, from that suppression. Excuse me. It's coming soon. Hang on. And then we just, it's almost like we're watching everything fall apart right now. We're right in the middle of it right now. We're seeing it happen right now. This is what's happening. And we go, oh my God, where have I been? How long have I been asleep and in slumber? What's been going on? Oh my God, I never realized this. I never realized that. Oh my God, what are you talking about? These stories that we've never heard of, that we've been suppressed, that our memories have been wiped and suppressed from remembering our own history, the history of our own souls, and forgetting those that have been working against us and keeping us suppressed, off-planet beings that have been taking over our planet for eons of time. It's all going to start coming out, and then here we are, facing the other way, walking right away from it with smiles on our faces, unified, integrated, supporting each other. And this is what is to come in the very near future. Just hold on. What you're seeing happening in the world is the breakdown of the systems that have not been supporting us. Whatever has not been or is not at this time supporting humanity is going to collapse. And I know it can get hard. But you know what happens when it gets hard for people as a group? We start supporting each other. We start reaching out to each other. So in a sense, it's like almost like saying, here where I'm coming from on this. It's not a blame issue, but it's almost like this is to the point. We had to get to this point before we started reaching out to each other, before we could stand up and remember who we really are at the soul level. And I hate that we had to get to this point. But listen, people, we've had many opportunities in the past. Um, and we bypassed them. So it had to get this bad. And Source and the supporters of humanity had to bring in a destroyer. And I think we all know who that destroyer is. That's why I'm saying don't be hating so much. I don't like Donald Trump either. I don't like anything that's going on. I don't like how it looks. I don't like how it feels. And I don't like how it's affecting humanity. But a destroyer had to be brought in, and he's it. And I'm going to show you some other visions I've had exactly about that, about Donald Trump being the sledgehammer, the heavy hammer, and the destroyer, so that everything that's not supporting humanity goes away and we begin again, what some people would call the new earth. It's been promised for eons of time, and now it's here. I love all of you. I love humanity. This is why I came here. I volunteered to come here in this lifetime. And the older I get, the more I remember from my soul a lot of things, and I am doing some writing on it. But I came here to support humanity. And now I do it in front of the TV watching the news. And I thank Donald Trump for the role that he's playing. I don't like the man. There's nothing about him that I like as a human. But I'm thankful that he agreed at a soul level, in his own dark way, to be inhabited by the darkness of destruction. We are in the time of apocalypse, and that doesn't mean Armageddon. Don't get them confused, okay? Apocalypse is uncovering that which has been buried, revealing that which has been hidden, and that will bring destruction. But the destruction itself is not the point. The destruction is because we're waking up, and because what has been hidden from us and kept us from our power is now being revealed. It's being unburied, and it's going to be, I think there's probably going to be quite a few people that are going to be so shocked it may end up in diseases or illness, or just deciding to transition on over, because it's going to be shocking, all that has been hidden and all that has been buried, because it's not just in this one lifetime. It's been eons and eons and eons. And here we are, privileged to watch it, as hard as it is right now. 100, 200 years down the road, or maybe even 1,000 years down the road, the evolved human species is going to look back at these historical times and go, oh my God, what humanity did and what our ancestors did for us so that we could be free and we could return to our sovereignty. That's us. That's us doing this. This is us participating now, rising up in our power. And I want to thank everybody, my brothers and sisters who have known these things for a long time, decades. And that you, as well as me, in some of the same ways, in some different ways, that you've been supporting humanity all this time behind the scenes and under the ground, so to speak. Here we are. So we don't stop now. Now we hold each other's hands and we move forward. So bless you. Breathe, breathe. Take breaks away from the TV. Take breaks away from the news and the doom scrolling. Take breaks away from the hating. Stop hating. We were not made for hate. We were made for love and support. And we may not like what's going on and we may hate what's going on, but don't speak words of hate against other humans, please. Don't feed them. Don't feed the dark energy. You lighten up and you feed off of your own source light within. And so until the next time and until the next video and the next vision that I share, thank you for joining me on Soul Talk Jam with Kathy. And remember to like and share, because we're in very important times, and these visions may help others because of the pictures that I've created with the help of AI. Okay? So until next time, sayonara, God bless you, and thank you for standing up in your soul power.